in the state to register for Taraba State Youth Transformation Initiative. Registration is free. The Taraba Youth Transformation Initiative is strategically designed to identify and equip youth groups with skills to enhance youth development. Registration will take place in all the 168 political wards in Taraba State. Registration starts 31st of March 2025. Venue: all local government secretariats across the state. Don't miss out. Register your youth groups today and take a step towards unlocking your full potentials. Join us and let's build a brighter future for Taraba youths. Ambassador Emmanuel George, JP, SSA, Youth Affairs, Announcer.
No matter how long you live, you cannot learn it all. You can only do your best because you know go feed you all. So if you want to criticize me,
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Som TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Som TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Som TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State.
Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Som TV, the pulse of the nation. On the news this hour, you can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now the major headlines. Murik accuses Adeleke University of forcing Muslim students to attend church, disrupting Ramadan prayers. ICPC has emphasized the importance of technology in curbing corruption and enhancing service delivery within the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS. Admiral Ekwe Ibok Ibas assumes office as Rivers State sole administrator amid political crisis. I am Esther Oka Stephen with the news in full. The Muslim rights concerns Murik has accused Adeleke University, Ide Osun State, of compelling Muslim students to attend Christian church services and disrupting their Ramadan prayers. Murik's executive director, Professor Ishak Akintola, raised this concern in a statement on March 20th, 2025, alleging systematic religious discrimination by the institution. According to Akintola, the university owned by Chief Adedeji Adeleke has a long history of restricting Islamic practices on campus. He claimed that Muslim students are forced to attend church services and are prohibited from observing salat or wearing hijabs. He also urged the National Universities Commission (NUC) to investigate alleged violations of religious freedom. Referencing past complaints against the university, Murik called on regulatory authorities to ensure transparency in private universities, especially regarding their religious policies. The organization insisted that Muslim students should be fully aware of institutional religious inclinations before enrolling. Meanwhile, the NUC has yet to respond to the latest allegation. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has emphasized the importance of technology in curbing corruption and enhancing service delivery within the Nigerian Immigration Service (NIS). Speaking at two-day sensitization campaign at NIS headquarters in Abuja, ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, represented by the Commission's spokesperson, Mr. Demola Bakare, highlighted issues such as recruiting fraud, passports, processing irregularities and misconduct at border entry points. Dr. Aliyu commended NIS for its digital transformations effort, but urged further strengthening in cybersecurity, in recruitment processes, restructuring of the performance management system, and strict enforcement of standard operating procedures. He also recommended the introduction of an official administrative fee for passport application to curb illegal charges while improving staff's welfare. Citing the NIS ethics and integrity compliance, he noted its progress from non-compliance in 2023 to partial compliance in 2024, stressing the need for further improvement. He advocates for a stronger whistleblower machine and strict penalties for corruption-related offenses, emphasizing that effective anti-corruption measures must translate into tangible benefits for citizens. Declaring the campaign open, NIS Controller General Kemi Nana reaffirmed the agency's commitment to integrity, transparency, and efficiency in national security and border management. She outlined key innovations including passport, e-gate, body camera, and e-visas aimed at reducing corruption and enhancing public trust. ICPC and other anti-corruption bodies stated that ongoing reforms would foster accountability and improve service delivery. The sensitization campaign formed part of broader effort to strengthen governance and ensure a more transparent immigration system in Nigeria. A midnight attack by suspected insurgents on Kelari, a community in Jara local government area of Borno State, has left residents in panic and claimed the life of a 12-year-old boy. The attack, which occurred on Tuesday, March 18th, saw an assailant in the area and opened fire, prompting residents to flee for safety. According to witnesses, a stray bullet struck the boy, who was injured before reaching the hospital. Community members described the attack as terrifying, which caused widespread fear and chaos. Security forces responded swiftly, forcing the attack to retreat. However, the motive behind the assault remained unclear. Kelari, a rapidly growing urban community on the outskirts of Borno, Maiduguri, has remained vulnerable to security threats due to its proximity to tourist hideouts. Residents have previously suffered abduction and killings, particularly those engaged in farming and firewood collection. The attack underscores the ongoing security challenges in Borno State, where communities continue to grapple in the threat of armed violence. The youth in Taraba State have been called upon to take advantage of the recognition accorded the youth by the Governor, Dr. Abu Kefas, as he has given them various appointments. This call when an inclusive stakeholders youth meeting was convened by Honorable Emmanuel George, who is a senior special assistant to Governor Abu Kefas. Some TV correspondents files in the report.
First-led administration in 2023, youth in the state were just mere passengers in the palace of politics. But that is now history. The Taraba State Governor, Dr. Abu Kefas, did not hide his intentions in giving the youth the opportunity to contribute their quota in the act of governance, thereby contributing to his agenda of development. To further give credence to the commitment of the governor, the Senior Special Assistant on Youth Affairs, Ambassador Emmanuel George, convened an inclusive youth stakeholders meeting, irrespective of religious beliefs or political affiliation. Speaking during the meeting, Ambassador Emmanuel George said the interface is to look at the positive contributions of the youth to the development of the state, what possible areas to contribute to the success of the Abu Kefas-led administration, as well as areas where they can improve the well-being of the youth in the state. The SSA, who enumerated the numerous achievements of Governor Abu Kefas, saluted the youth for their perseverance and for creating an enabling environment for development to thrive. According to Ambassador Emmanuel George, the rationale behind the meeting is not far-fetched from the fact that an opportunity has been provided to them by Dr. Abu Kefas, and they must take full advantage of the governor's magnanimity. The meeting also seeks to give the youth ideas on how to enable them break out of the shackles of poverty, which has retarded their progress.
When I assumed office, the first thing that came to my mind is that let's come up with something. First, we have to recognize our organizations and their head. So this is going to go round the 168 wards we have in Taraba State. The idea of that is to give a voice to the voiceless.
During the meeting, various speakers took turns to make useful suggestions and contributions on the workable ways to tackle the numerous problems confronting the progress of the youth in the state.
Your initiative, your creativity, it is irrespective of party, irrespective of religion, geopolitical zone, is carrying everybody along.
For instance, an organization that has a state chapter, local government chapter, the world has, down to the unit level. When it comes to the enrollment, specifically, there should be a point on their registration.
For us who are of the opposition party, the APC, so I want to advise that when it comes to making your central committee and your zonal committee, present a youth leader that when his name is mentioned as zonal youth leader, everybody, be you in APC, ABGA, Labour, SDP, that person will be running around with. Let's not put sentiment of party. Let's put sentiment of capacity in this constituency. I would today expect that 100% should be positive. You have negative, people who are naturally negative. No matter how you try to draw them, they don't like people. Whatever anything you do, they'll still go back.
What I'm pleading is that the essay on youth should actually put entertainment industry in the forefront too. We have a lot of beautiful talent in Taraba State that just needs a push.
It's a very, very thoughtful initiative, and I'm sure none of us, I don't want to conclude, but none of us will oppose this initiative if we are truly progressive, if we are truly about the progress of Taraba State.
Some of the youth who bared their minds on the importance and significance of the interface appreciated the Senior Special Assistant for coming up with such a laudable initiative, which they said is timely. They lauded Governor Agbukefas for appointing Ambassador Emmanuel George, who according to them is a seasoned grassroots mobilizer, promising to work closely with the SSA to fast-track development and well-being of youths in the state.
The SA took it upon himself to bring out the youth organizations right from the ward level to the local government level up to the state level, which is a good initiative.
For him to have thought about taking the message down to the grassroots, because the grassroots is the basics of everything. For him to have gone down to the level of every local government, every zone, I must commend him for that. It is a step in the right direction.
I still want to call upon the government to give the SSA on youth affairs more listening ears, because he can only hear our voice through him.
The meeting was very impactful.
I would wish to appreciate His Excellency for his inclusive idea in bringing the youth into governance, which we have never seen that in the history of Taraba State.
Being with the youth, definitely he has captured Taraba State.
The government should look into the office of the SA Youth Affairs, should give him the necessary support, because the initiative he has and what we have brainstormed and come up with is a very good idea that will lead the state forward. The youths are developing youths, a developing nation.
The governor has clearly demonstrated his willingness by providing a platform for the youth, and what is left now is for the privileged youth to show commitment and determination that they are ready for the task and to carry all youth along, irrespective of religious beliefs or political affiliation.
Admiral Ekwe Ibong Ibas, retired official, began his tenure as the sole administrator of Rivers State on Thursday, following his appointment by President Bola Tinubu in response to the ongoing political crisis in the state. His arrival at the Port Harcourt International Airport, or Megwa, at 11:30 a.m. marked the beginning of his first day in office. He proceeded directly to Government House, where he was received by staff members and immediately began settling into his new role. Upon assuming duty, Ibas emphasized that his primary responsibilities was to restore law and order in Rivers State. He acknowledged the circumstances that led to his appointment, noting that stability and security were essential for governance and development. To achieve this, he expressed a commitment to working closely with stakeholders to ensure peace, order, and stability in the state. During his first engagement at Government House, the official portrait of President Bola Tinubu and suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara remain prominently displayed in the Executive Council chamber. His appointment came after President Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers, which resulted in the 6-month suspension of Governor Fubara and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. President Bola Tinubu has commended the National Assembly for approving the state of emergency declaration in Rivers State, describing it as a vital step towards restoring stability. In a statement by spokesperson Bayo Onauga, Tinubu noted that the prolonged political crisis had severely impacted governance and national economic security for over 15 months. He praised Senate President Godswill Akpabio, House Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, and other lawmakers for prioritizing the security and welfare of Rivers residents over political interest. The president highlighted the lawmakers' careful review of security briefings, emphasizing the urgent need for intervention to prevent further escalations. He warned that the crisis posed a significant threat on vital oil and gas infrastructure, which could undermine the national economy. Tinubu stated that the 6-month emergency rule would empower the newly appointed sole administrator to stabilize governance, address systematic challenges, and facilitate dialogue among political factions. He reaffirmed his administration's commitment to collaborating with the National Assembly to promote peace, economic resilience, and national development. Calling for public support, Tinubu expressed appreciation to Nigerians for their understanding and urged all stakeholders to contribute to restoring peace in Rivers State. Janibambu community has expressed joy as the Commissioner of Basic Education, Honorable Dr. Augustina Godwin, sponsored the grading and filling of the community's entrance road on March 18, 2025. Represented by Honorable Elmose Shamang Kona, Dr. Augustina emphasized the importance of the project in improving accessibility and fostering development. She highlighted Janibambu's fertile land, diverse population, and rich cultural heritage, stressing the need for continuous infrastructural growth. Residents of the community celebrate the initiatives, acknowledging its significance in enhancing mobility and overall socio-economic progress. Despite the government's approval of Galdimare Primary School in Gombe State since 2018, the reality on the ground tells a different story. With no school structures in place, children in the community are forced to learn under trees, in mosques, and even in the village head palace. Frustrated parents and community leaders are now calling on the government to fulfill its promises. Sun TV correspondent Kamal files in the report.
The development of every community and the responsibility of providing education facilities lies with the government. However, the situation is different in Galdimare, a community just 4 kilometers from Gombe city center. In the 21st century, when students worldwide acquire knowledge in well-equipped classrooms with modern technology and artificial intelligence, the children of Galdimare find themselves in a dire situation, reminiscent of the ancient times. Although the government approved the establishment of Galdimare Primary School in 2018, nothing has been done to provide the necessary infrastructure for its operation. Mr. Hamzat Al-Ladi, chairman of the Galdimare Youth Development Forum, revealed that despite the government's approval, the school still lacks a single structure. The community initially rented a house to provide education for their children, with palace, mosques, and even trees as makeshift classrooms.
Galdimare Primary School was established in 2018. Then after this establishment of this school, we have no any land and classroom. At that time, the people of Galdimare community, we gather ourselves, we tax ourselves, we collect the rental of the one of the building house. We said that let us squat in this house before government intervene in this situation. So after all this, the owner of the house he come that he wants his house. He said that he will no longer borrow us our house. Then all the school members, all the school people, they are transferred into the Dagati Palace. We categorize the pupils into different classes. Some of them we put them inside the mosques. Some of them we put them inside the Dagati Palace. Some of these were under the trees. They received knowledge.
Mr. Abdulaziz Hassan, Secretary General of the Galdimare Youth Development Forum, expressed deep dissatisfaction with the deplorable condition the young learners endure. He made a passionate appeal to the government to intervene and fulfill its promises of establishing the school.
Actually, it is very disheartening that at the 21st century, Gombe peoples are studying, or let me say, are learning under the shade of trees in the mosques and at the palace of the village head of Galdimari. It is so disheartening. You can imagine the future generation learning under the deplorable condition of such nature. Actually, the future of our children, particularly Gombe State children, or let me say Galdimari community to be specific, are in danger. For that, we are calling on the state government as a matter of urgency. Though we have tried a lot of effort so that to see that we contributed towards enhancing the education in the community. As rightly mentioned by my colleague here, the chairman of the forum, the community has had to, look for a solution to that issue.
The school initially had over 300 students, a number that has now grown to 500. However, parents who can afford private school fees have withdrawn their children due to the poor learning condition. He pleaded with the government to take urgent action as students have been studying under trees for over 2 years. The community now waits in hope for government intervention as education remains the foundation for a brighter future. From Gombe, Kamal Hamajo reporting for Sun TV.
On to another story coming from Gombe, as it's that Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State has lauded journalists as key partners in national development while celebrating the 70th anniversary of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ. In a goodwill message signed by Ismaila Uba Misili, Director General Press Affairs, Government House, Gombe, the governor commended NUJ President Comrade Al-Hassan Yahya Abdullahi for strengthening the union and building on its legacy. He expressed pride in the union's achievement and its role in enhancing journalism in Nigeria. Governor Yahya emphasized the strong relationship between the Gombe State government and the media, assuring continued collaboration to support press freedom and professional growth. He acknowledged journalism contributions to democracy, transparency, and accountability, reaffirming his administration's commitment to fostering a conducive working environment for media practitioners. He reiterated his government's dedication to partnering with the NUJ and other media organizations to uphold journalistic integrity and further national progress. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nwesom Wike, has pledged to cover the medical expenses of victims involved in a tragic accident near Karu Bridge along the Abuja-Kefi Expressway. In a statement issued on Thursday by a senior special assistant on public communication and social media, Larry Olayinka, Wike described the accident as avoidable and expressed condolences to the families of the deceased. He directed the Mandate Secretary for Health Services and Environment, Director Ade Dolapo Fasawa, to oversee the treatment of injured victims. According to the minister, 17 casualties were taken to Asokoro District Hospital, with 7 later transferred to the National Hospital, while some victims with minor injuries have been treated and discharged, with one other severe burns and crash injuries remain under medical care. Regrettably, one patient with third-degree burns into injuries despite resuscitation's efforts. Wike emphasized the need for stricter adherence to traffic regulations, especially among heavy-duty vehicles drivers, urging the Federal Road Safety Corps and other agencies to enforce traffic laws more effectively. The accident reportedly occurred when a truck driver lost control, colliding with multiple vehicles and triggering a massive explosion. The incident claimed 10 lives and left over 30 injured. On to news from Gombe State. The Gombe State Governor, Alhaji Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, has continued his tradition of engaging key stakeholders through a series of Ramadan Iftar gatherings at the Government House. The event, which began on March 7th, provided a platform for meaningful dialogue with lawmakers, religious leaders, business communities, political appointees, and the media, reinforcing its administration's commitment to inclusive governance, infrastructure development, and social welfare. Some TV correspondent Kamal Amajo fights in the report.
Each Islamic tradition to host family, friends, and even outsiders for iftar. In line with this, Gombe State Governor Alhaji Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya commenced this year's iftar gatherings on March 7, beginning with members of the Gombe State House of Assembly at the Government House Banquet Hall. The event highlighted the lawmakers' vital role in the state's progress, with the governor commending their unwavering support and describing them as the key partners in development.
I must accept my satisfaction and happiness over the relationships that subsist between us. And I want to say that all we are doing is because of the successful and cordial relationship that has been built around the House and the Executive. And the result of that relationship is what the people of Gombe are benefiting from.
During the gathering, Governor Yahaya announced the construction of 114 additional primary healthcare centers across all wards in the state, reinforcing his administration's commitment to improving healthcare access.
So let us work together and let us ensure that much as we do politics with reason, politics with sense, and politics of development. We did 114 and we are now doing the second leg, touching the 114 plus one more. So meaning we'll have 228 standard primary healthcare centers, despite what we did at the secondary healthcare level.
In his response, Speaker of the House of Assembly, Right Honorable Abubakar Muhammad Lugereo, lauded the governor's leadership and assured him of the Assembly's continuous support in driving the administration's developmental agenda.
First of the days in the entire dinner, we are very much honored and highly grateful, Your Excellency, for this rest.
On March 8, Governor Yahaya hosted Sangaya teachers, reaffirming his commitment to integrating Quran and Western education while prioritizing the welfare of Almajiri children. He emphasized the government's effort in constructing modern Sangaya schools and enrolling Almajiri in the Go Health program. In recognition of his contributions, the Forum of Al-Rammas conferred on him the title Kadimul Quran, Servant of the Quran. Continuing his series of iftar engagements, Governor Yahaya met with business leaders and labor unions on March 10, urging traders to reflect the nationwide decline in commodity price to ease the economic burdens on citizens. Labor and business leaders praised the governor's inclusive policies and plead their cooperation in stabilizing price for essential goods. On March 12 and 13, the governor hosted the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, APC, and calling for unity and a focus on governance. He reassured them of his dedication to delivering impactful projects, including the construction of roads in family homes estate and new Shongo garden layout. Additionally, he announced the approval for the payment of outstanding gratuities to local government retirees, demonstrating his administration's commitment to workers' welfare. The grand final of the Ramadan Iftar series took place on March 14, where Governor Inuwa Yahaya hosted members of the press and civil society organizations, acknowledging their critical role in promoting accountability, governance, and public enlightenment. Addressing the gathering, the governor reiterated his administration's commitment to transparency and press freedom, recognizing the media's responsibility in keeping citizens informed and fostering democratic growth. He also commended journalists for their objective and professional coverage of government activities, urging them to maintain truthful and balanced reportage that prioritize national interests over sensationalisms.
So please join us as we work with our comrades and we support one another. As we do the work, please do the talk so that we join together and move forward as a people. Now the board has been set rolling. I'm ready to answer any question. I will start to engage with you. If you want on a daily basis, I can do that. But for sure, no governor before me ever set that style of getting to the media at least quarterly. I did not miss this since I came.
In his remark, the state NUJ chairman, Farouk Muazu, expressed appreciation for the governor's open door policy and effort to keep journalists engaged in governance matters. He pledged to continue practicing accurate and ethical reporting to ensure the public remain well informed.
The board step towards resolving the long-standing issue of our secretariat. Your efforts have brought us closer to achieving our goal, and we want you to continue pushing forward until we can proudly call our secretariat our own.
This concluded our report on the Ramadan Iftar series from Government House, Gombe. Kamal Hamaju reporting for Song TV.
Also from Gombe, in a bid to enhance sanitation and hygiene across the state, the Gombe state government has expanded its monthly environmental sanitation exercise to include schools and healthcare facilities. This move follows the successful implementation of the last Saturday of the month sanitation program. Speaking on the development, the Commissioner for Water, Environment and Forest Resources, Honorable Mohammed Saidu Fawul, emphasized the government's commitment to keeping Gombe clean while also addressing the state status in the federal government open defecation-free initiatives. Kamal, our Som TV correspondent, files in the report.
In its effort to improve sanitation and hygiene, the Gombe State government has extended its last Saturday of the month sanitation program to include schools and healthcare facilities. Speaking to the press in his office, the Gombe State Commissioner for Water, Environment and Forest Resources, Honorable Muhammad Saidu Fawu, reaffirmed the government commitment to keeping Gombe clean and hygienic. He noted that following the success of the ongoing end-of-month sanitation exercise, the State Executive Council, under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya, has approved the expansion of the initiative to ministries, departments and agencies, and now to schools and healthcare facilities, while calling for cooperation from the people of the state and relevant stakeholders to ensure hygiene across communities and prevent communicable diseases. The Commissioner said, Last month, we carried out sanitation in government offices. Even as I speak to you now, the sanitation exercise in schools and healthcare facilities, which we include in our report, has already commenced. We hope people will cooperate and offer their support. Even though it is targeted at schools and healthcare facilities, there are still ways in which the public can contribute, and we urge them to do so. Commenting on the federal government's extension of the Open Defecation Free (ODF) target to 2030, the commissioner expressed regret that none of the 11 local government areas in Gombe State were among the 132 LGAs that recently received ODF certification at a national environmental meeting attended by ministers and commissioners for environment from all 36 states. He assured that before the end of this year, if not all, a majority of Gombe's local government will achieve open defecation-free status, as the state government has taken proactive measures such as awareness campaign, the provision of public toilet, and monthly sanitation exercise. We gathered in Abuja with all commissioners, ministers, and relevant stakeholders to launch the expansion of the ODF initiative to 2030. Out of the 774 local government areas in Nigeria, only 132 has been certified and issued ODF certificates. Unfortunately, none of the Gombe State 11 local government areas were included. People should understand that government effort alone will not yield result without their commitment. The monthly sanitation exercise was introduced by the state government in April 2024 and is observed on the last Saturday of every month with restriction on movement from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, MDS, school, and healthcare facilities have also been included in the initiative. From Gombe, Kamal Hamajo reporting for Som TV.
On to news from Abia State. Aba Power has refuted reports claiming that an Abia State High Court ruled against the new electricity tariff approved by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. The company clarified that no court has voided the tariff for Aba Power or any of the other 11 electricity distributions company in Nigeria. According to Edias Ekong, Aba Power's communication and brand manager, the reports are misleading. He explained that the court dismissed the case brought by the Unregistered Aba Electricity Consumers Forum, ruling that the group had no legal standing. The court instead directed its members to appear as individuals consumers. Ekong urged customers in the Aba ring-fenced area to continue paying the new tariff, emphasizing that Aba Power remains the only DISCO that has not benefited from government subsidies. He also noted that the nationwide electricity tariff increase is expected soon as part of the federal government effort to reduce energy subsidies.